I feel like throughout this week and throughout Pro League, I'm going to need plenty more of these coffees because, I mean, last night wasn't even really that late. It wasn't really that late. I mean, I was only up till 1 a.m. watching, but it's going to be a long week. It's going to be a long week trying to stay up, obviously, for the boys in the UK. But guys, first day of Pro League is done. We only had 2 games last night. Of course, it was Red against Reciprocity and OpTic Gaming against Midnight. Now, I want to talk about the Red Reciprocity game quickly, and then we'll talk about the OpTic situation rather than the game. And I just want to sort of give my opinion on how much I think it actually makes a difference and how well I think Midnight played as well. So let's go into the Red versus Reciprocity game now. Once again, Scraps is making a very good statement for himself and his team that he could definitely be one of the best players on this game. He is easily the best player on the game at the moment. Obviously, we haven't really seen Dashi at LAN. We'll come to that in a second, but so far, I don't think we've seen many more performances as good as that against opposition like that. Reciprocity are a good team. They finished in the top 2 in their group. We're looking good there. They had a couple of games where they lost to teams they shouldn't, but then they beat some good teams. So Reciprocity are a team I did expect within the top 6, top 8 throughout the year, at least challenging for that anyway. And last night they just looked really flat against Red Reserve, but I want to give full credit to Red. You know, when we spoke to Reese on Spitfire, or Rated as you know him, he said that their respawn was never the problem, and that clearly is still the case. Their control was okay. The control was a little bit closer. Reciprocity played them well there, but the hard point was pretty much flawless. I mean, when Scraps is doing things like that, I just think that what can you do? He goes on streaks consistently. Him using the War Machine, of course, is just giving him the ability to get more kills is always going to be dangerous for the other team. And yeah, he's very, very solid with the specialist that he's using right now. And I just think that realistically, he is so hard to beat at this moment in time. If you can't match him, you're in trouble because the rest of the team will all do their job. Joe will constantly be flanking. Zero is aggressive with the SMG. Reese slows down the pace where he needs to with the AR. Bance played really well yesterday, actually, as well, with the... I think he was using the Maddox the majority of the game, but I think this is going to be a hard team to beat in Respawn. S&D was originally their issue at the Pro League, at the Pro League qualifier, I should say, and at Vegas. They seem to have fixed that in this game. It's only one map, so I don't want to read too much into it, but they look pretty good in it. Their trades were really nice from time to time, and I think they just played it pretty well. It was a close game, but a 6-4 victory over Reciprocity is a pretty decent scoreline because Rec are notoriously a pretty good S&D team. All those players are good S&D players, so a good result for Red. A 3-0 is a big, big statement for them. I'm really looking forward to their game tonight against Genji. That's going to be very, very interesting because they have lost to them, I think, the last 2 times they played them. So if they can come out and make another statement themselves again, then I think Red are going to be very, very much near the top of this group throughout the whole of the season. As for Rec, I feel as if they looked a little bit flat for me. I don't know if it may be the pressure of the situation going up against another European team. I don't know. I don't want to maybe put words in their mouth of the reasons why they lost, but it seems as if they just went to the races in this one. They never really looked like they were contesting for the victory. I think Den's had a poor game from what I've seen. Well, actually, I don't want to place it on anybody. I think the team as a whole had a poor game. I think they are better than that, absolutely. Of course, they have just played against a good Red lineup, but I do think they are better than that, and I don't think they'll struggle too much in the league. I think they'll do okay, but as I said, I think we've got more to see from Reciprocity, but Red looking really, really good, more like the Red that we sort of expected to see at the beginning of the year. Let's talk about OpTic and Midnight, and let's first and foremost, I want to say that Midnight played this fantastically. They look like the team that we've seen at the Pro League qualifier, playing really, really well. I honestly thought that the Stock 2 GA was going to hurt them because they were one of the first ones that really brought it in at the PLQ and were using it a lot. Whereas I think now they proved that that's not the case, and Envoy again played great, Brack played great. These are the 2 typically standout guys for Midnight, and yeah, they looked really, really good. A lot of promise in this team. I'm going to defend OpTic a little bit here. First and foremost, what I will say is that the PLQ was only very recent. I would say Midnight are more, well, they've had more time on LAN, that sort of thing, so it will definitely help them. They do have more experience on this game, so to speak, in a LAN environment. So I think that's definitely a factor as well. You know, OpTic could have come in cold. That was one of my worries about this game for them. I did still think I think I predicted them to win 3-1, and I still felt good about OpTic just from the standpoint of their roster being amazing. But that was when I thought Dashi was in the squad. Now, I think when you think, oh, you put Zuma in for Dashi, this squad should still do okay. Yeah, okay, you would think that, but I think Scump tweeted something along the lines of last night, is that it's a complete role change for a couple of people on this team. And it's basically like just a completely different team bringing into it. An unpracticed team is what was playing against Midnight last night because they're playing in different roles. It's almost like if you think of a substitution in football, if one player comes off, say the striker comes off and you've got no strikers on the bench, you bring in a defender and then you have to maybe move things around, maybe put a midfielder up front instead so the defender doesn't have to go there. So it's not just Zuma sliding into Dashi's role. Obviously, he goes into a different role, and that changes things around the team, and that's why we've probably seen a poor performance from them. As said, I don't want to take too much away from Midnight. They played this really well, and I like how they played the game. They're very aggressive, and if anything, they smoked them. They did. And that's still a good achievement for them. I think I really want to see... Actually, who are they playing tonight? Remind myself. Let's have a look. Godwill League Twitter. And I'll let you guys know as well, because this is where it's going to be interesting. I want to see Midnight go up against another team. Okay, they're playing AG tonight, so that's going to be a good test for them as well. So we'll keep an eye on that one, and then we'll get a good basis, because I don't want to take anything away from Midnight. They played really, really well. Envoy looked sick. Brack looked sick. Looked like really good players once again, but they're playing against a team who are just messed up at the moment because obviously they don't have Dashi, and arguably he was their best player at Vegas and the MVP at Vegas. So if you're going to lose anybody, to lose Dashi is got to sting a little bit. So I'm not going to put too much stock into this loss if you're OpTic. I'll put some stock into the win if you're Midnight, because I think, I said they played really, really well. Let's see how they do against EG tonight. But overall, a really good start to the Pro League. We've seen good performances from a team we expected. Two 3-0s. I mean, we'll not see that as time goes on. And honestly, if you're an OpTic fan, I wouldn't worry too much. As soon as Dashi's back, I think they'll be 100% back to form. But if you're one of these other teams who has to play OpTic before they get Dashi back, then you're in the money. You should be able to take these victories. But the thing is as well with OpTic, with Zuma, as time goes on, they will get better as well. So I'll be interested to see how it develops throughout the rest of the week. But that was just a quick recap of last night. Let me know what you thought of the games last night. Do you think Midnight are the real deal? Do you think they would have smoked OpTic even without Dashi? From that performance, they definitely would have given them a good game. Do you think Red are back to their favorite, their highest level? Do you think they are, of course, once again, favorites for a tournament? Can they go on to do something? Is Scraps potentially the best player in the game? I think he might be at this moment in time. Looked really good last night. I'll be checking out the Pro League tonight as well. 4 games going on. Tonight the games are Gen G against Red. That's a great game to kick things off, and that's going to be at 8 PM GMT. Midnight Esports, an hour and a half later, going up against Evil Geniuses. Then we've got UYU against OpTic. Of course, everyone is sort of against UYU at the moment. Let's see if OpTic can pull it out the bag. And then an absolute cracker to end the night at 7:30 PM ET. So that'll be 12:30 at night GMT here, and that's going to be Luminosity against Reciprocity. I'll be checking out them tonight. Check out Twitter for my predictions. I'll be putting them out as well. We'll have another video out tomorrow reviewing the games, and yeah, let me know your thoughts on the games below. Leave the video a like, and a subscription would be great if you could. Thank you guys, and we'll see you for the video tomorrow.